Kardashian West. Democratic Governor Jared Polis said that he wanted to end the circus that was swirling around the 110-year sentence of a truck driver who killed 4 people on I-70. Governors refused to tell us about lobbying for clemency by Hollywood stars like Kim Kardashian West. And now we know how his meeting with the victims' families went. Not well. Here's Marshall Zellinger.
It is my hope that this gives you some closure on this.
No, it doesn't. This is entirely political.
You are just victimizing us again.
This is a recording provided to Next. Democratic Governor Jared Polis telling survivors and victims' family members he was commuting the sentence of I-70 truck driver Rohel Aguilera Medeiros from 110 years to 10.
The punishment that he receives will be what any Coloradan would normally receive for this type of crime.
Today, we received evidence from the trial, videos of the truck on I-70 ahead of the crash. Next Thursday, the judge in the case had a hearing set to reconsider the 110-year sentence.
Why is waiting 2 weeks not the right thing to do?
Well, again, I based on our last conversation, I would have done this last week, but
Waiting 2 weeks for the resentencing hearing. Colorado has a lot of fucked up. You're supposed to have 10 steps in the criminal procedure. They don't do that. There's way too many damn laws. Essentially, they're all cherry picking whichever ones that they want to go with. And you got mandatory minimums, but then the crime of violence, for an assault, somebody comes up and just, smacks you in the face. Well, that's, a crime of violence. So if the minimum is, 2 years, then it gets doubled to 4 years. And then if you, slap somebody, if you slap 4 people, well, shit, 4 times 4, you're going to go to jail for 16 years. However, vehicular homicide, not a crime of violence. Vehicular homicide is not a crime of violence. Slap a person, 4 years. Run somebody over and kill them, not a crime of violence. It doesn't get enhanced. It doesn't get doubled. Whatever the sentence for the vehicular homicide, it just stays put. Not a crime of violence. So there's a lot of fucked up shit when it comes to Colorado law.
But I told you I'd wait past Monday to see if the courts did anything. They didn't.
And they said
Okay.
Families looking for an explanation got a repeated answer.
Why did you think that you should do this instead of passing on it? Why is it not the right thing to wait 2 weeks?
I'll read that section of the paragraph of the letter again.
No, that's you're not answering my question.
I answered that very question.
Earlier this week, Kyle was able to ask the governor the same question.
Why didn't you let it play out before you intervened?
So here's why. This isn't the fault of the judge who passed the sentence. The judge's hands were tied.
That was true at the time of sentencing, based on the charges Aguilera Medeiros.
Why is everybody feeling sorry for the judge? The judge is the one that put the sentence on. The judge, it's like Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate isn't to blame. He asked, what, the Jewish people? It wasn't Pontius Pilate's fault.
Was found guilty of, but next week's hearing was part of the judicial process that allowed for the judge to reconsider. Some of these family members wanted the judge to reconsider, not the governor, and certainly not celebrities who had the governor's ear.
And what did Kim Kardashian West want you to do?
Well, I haven't read all of her tweets. I don't know. There were certainly people that wanted a complete pardoning of the crime.
Why do we continue to ask if the governor was guided by Kim Kardashian West? Because I've received multiple tips that he talked with her about this case. That's why. So our question...
Why do we keep on? Because Kim Kardashian, her name gets clicks. That's why. Who gives a shit if Kim Kardashian said anything to Jared Polis? Jared Polis is not being governed by Kim Kardashian. He did this. The way he did this politically was genius. He says this is the average, sentence for a crime just like this, having different, disparate sentences. One person does this and then, doesn't even go to jail. Another person does the exact same thing, goes to jail for 110 years. Who the hell is supposed to have any goddamn confidence in these institutions? These institutions are crap. These institutions are dog shit. James Holmes, he, killed, 12 innocent people still alive, still being fed. Colorado State is still paying for him to live, right? I guess he gets a right to food, water, clothing, housing. He gets all of his Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And then Johnny Hurley, what happened with Johnny Hurley? Johnny Hurley just got straight up murdered after he saved the day. Killed an active gunman, but the cops killed Johnny Hurley. And did they even charge that police officer with a single crime or a $50 ticket? So Jared Polis is being reasonable and merciful. Is Jared Polis not merciful? 110 years? Knock it down to 10 years. He settled the damn thing. It's a resentencing hearing, so they might have just put the same. Should they reconsider? Should we reconsider? Maybe we should. Maybe we shouldn't. So it could have been 110 years anyways. And if they did reconsider it, my God, what do they give? 100 years? I heard some were pushing 20 to 30, but I also heard that some were saying 10 to 20. You know, they're all over the place. If they, the survivors want to all get together and, write up how many years they think it should have been, I think that would be, beneficial somewhat. But frankly, 110 years is insane. Jared Polis is correct that the average Coloradan would see that what they did, what the judge did, was fucking insane. The DA, this progressive, who, didn't put charges on Johnny Hurley's killer. So some progressive. So Jared Polis isn't being governed by Kim Kardashian, maybe the political winds, but his own conscience, governed by reason, governed by, what's honest and fair and impartial and decent and even-handed and Jesus fuck. Resentencing hearing wouldn't have, 110. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of issues with Colorado. Our Constitution is over 200 pages. We got 44 titles and about 500 pages per title. So that's 20,000. We got over 20,000 laws. So there's too many goddamn laws on the fucking books. 1876 Constitution. It's, written a long ass time ago. A lot of good stuff in it. I love the Bill of Rights of, Colorado Constitution. I love the democracy of Colorado's, Constitution. But, I think that when average citizens learn anything about the law, then the police and the lawyer class all get fucking resentful and pissed off and... So, yeah, Jared Polis. Jared Polis. That Rogel, that Cuban immigrant, is no threat to me. You could totally give him 100% clemency. I'm a Coloradan citizen, so whether he's listening to Kim Kardashian or whether he's listening to old John Masters out of Southern Colorado, doesn't, either way. Rogel, he is no threat to me. The bigger threat to me is a runaway malicious, so-called justice system, an injustice, slaughterhouse, a rocket docket slaughterhouse. That's a bigger threat to civil society. That's a threat to you and me and everybody else. A runaway malicious judicial system is a threat to Colorado's civil society. So, yeah, Jesus Christ. Do y'all want a goddamn civil society, or do you just have a fucking slaughterhouse rocket docket just going around eating motherfuckers up just to make it seem like, what, you guys are doing something? Well, we hurt a lot of people. Did they deserve it? No. Was it restorative? No, very destructive. So you hurt a lot of people? We sure did. But orders established, that's right. We did do something good for the public, but that's just happenstance. We don't want chaos for ourselves. It's like Jimenez Springs. For Jimenez Springs, the damn criminals, the DEA and the damn judges go ahead and put the criminals right back on the street. So they robbed the damn police in Jimenez Springs. The damn cops got robbed. Yeah, that's when you go ahead and build your own jail and have your own citizen, courts. You need a people's court. Yeah, that DA and they're not doing their jobs. They're not doing their jobs. They're not being victimized by these criminal pieces of shit. They might be in cahoots with them. And hell, it might be political. Dig deeper. Jimenez Springs, dig deeper. Just follow the money.